You know the rule of like, you don't take it out unless you're gonna use it.
That's the #1 thing we always tell you. Like you should never pull it out unless you're ready to
never pull it out.
Unless you're ready to dump the whole mag.
No one even knows.
That's the instructor. Don't pull it out as you're down to dump 4 mags on him.
This fool carries 4 mags. He's doing quick reloads.
He's flicking it.
This question seems like kind of like a common sense type answer, but I think I was surprised seeing it online on like X and people had different takes on it. But when someone does a horrible crime and then it's revealed that they themselves were the victims of that same crime or worse, does that make you more sympathetic to them as a person?
Nope, I hate them even more.
Oh, like that whole like hurt people.
Yeah.
No. Hate them even more. Exactly. I'm like, if you already know how bad it feels, why are you passing on, you son of a...
Like if you got diddled as a kid and then you start diddling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think it's good to kind of understand that it's they're still up terribly.
I got my beat, right? And then like, I'll beat somebody's ass, and then I feel good about it. And then later I feel bad about it.
When's later?
Depends on how young I was.
That's true. When you're really young, you can't wait to pass it on.
You don't care. But I think the more younger you are, the more impulsive. I don't even know if young is the word, but like you could be immature. You could still be an old, immature motherfucker. Yeah. But until you processed, like you're just an impulsive animal. Once you shift that mind and you have a little bit of like empathy, and then you can like evolve as a human being, you go, oh, I probably shouldn't do that. I think a lot of people that get stuck on that impulse phase, they don't even get to that stage of, I'm hurting someone just like someone hurt me. They don't. That's an evolved human being, right?
Yeah. What if it's not the same crime? Let's say that like, you know, like I think this really happened where some girl was like trafficked for like years by this like pimp, and then she like finally rose up the courage and like killed him, and then she ended up going to jail.
I think that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope that you went to jail?
No, but I think it's cool.
Lock her up forever.
I think that's dope that she killed the person that's been causing her pain her whole life.
But then also, I think the reason why she ended up going to jail was because they couldn't prove that, like, although legally that was like she was being trafficked, but they were still like, I guess they were both making money.
Oh, so it's like that. If the story was this person is taking on her bully, it makes it feel satisfying. But what if they were just fighting over a hamburger, and then they're arguing because, hey, motherfucker, that hamburger was mine. Well, I was hungry. Well, motherfucker, why the fuck did you eat my hamburger? And then you know.
Yeah.
And then it's like, but then the story that the lawyer creates is,
yeah.
Oh, she's been exploited all her life.
Sure.
Yeah, because trafficking technically is like it. Of course, when we think of trafficking, I think you think of like literally like someone's a captive and they're like forced to do this thing. But then, even the Figueroa stuff falls under trafficking, and I think that's what it was.
I think for me, it's always like trying to find out what do you really want, like what are you really trying to do. So if for her, she's like, I don't want this life anymore. I got trafficked by this guy. We made money, so my hands aren't clean. Like we're both dirty, or whatever. But she's like, I want to have a clean life. Then she shouldn't even seek retaliation. She would just like move across somewhere else.
Oh, just run away.
Yeah, because it's like the same scenario where like, if you're trying to like spend a good time with your family at the movies, let's say a dude shoulder bumps you, right, walking out, and then they call you a name.
Yeah.
Like, if the minute you engage and you're like, what the fuck you just do, brother? Your mission just changed. Yeah. Your mission is now, I gotta set things straight, because now you made me look like a bitch in front of my family. But if your shit is like really about spending time with your family, oh dude, my bad, dude. Yeah, hey, let's go, wants popcorn, and you just you stay on the mission.
Yeah, but what if that guy disrespected you?
I don't care. For me, it's like, what is my true mission? My true mission is to spend time with my family. Yeah. This fool can fucking pee on my shoes.
What if this guy goes like, look at it.
That's not true.
He like said something right in front of Taka.
I know. Well, I'll walk to the side and I'll debrief with Taika. That guy's cuckoo.
But he's still going in the back.
I'm like, there's a lot of crazy people.
Yo, your dad's weak. Yeah. No good. I slap your dad around.
I think if it's all verbal, I honestly won't care because it's just my mission is to have a good time.
That's cool.
So the sooner I can de-escalate it, the better. But if he fucking like grabs Gio's titties or something, then it's different.
Then there's popcorn being stuffed in his mouth.
Then they better bring Bruce Buffer because it's about to be a 5-round championship fight.
What if he doesn't physically do anything, but he yells spoilers on the movie you're about to go in and watch?
Dude.
Because then you can't have a good time. Because
Bart has way more patience than me.
What would you do?
I think I would think that I'm Bart in that moment. And then I would think, you know what, maybe I'll be like the nice guy and then just go up there and say, and ask politely, you know? And then like, I think I would get myself in a really stupid situation because I wouldn't have the same type of patience. So I would, in my mind, I would be like, oh, dude, I'll just tell him like, hey, bro, like, can you chill out? And then, in my mind, it'll play out as like, hey, dude, oh, sorry, man, yeah, I get it. And then we'll like shake hands, and then I'll go back and like, yeah, he was just like having a good time. That's how it would play out in my mind. But I think what the reality would be is I would ask and then he'll say, fuck you. Yeah. And I'll just be like, what? And I'll grab a pen and start stabbing him in his fucking neck, you know? And then I go, oh my God, what did I do? And I'll be like, fucking shit. And then I'll be like, Hannah, we gotta go. And then this guy that's sitting in the back of the fucking movie theater with a pen in his neck.
Oh, damn.
But
Yeah,
I think
that sounds different.
I would be like, in that situation, yeah, like Bart's like, the first thing I would do is take Taika to the side and be like, hey, this is what's happening right now or whatever. I think I have like a weird optimistic delusion of, oh, you know, he probably doesn't know. He's having a great time. I probably should say something and then, or whatever.
All you gotta do is go to Taika and be like, that guy with the pen in his neck, he's cuckoo.
No, because in my early 20s, right, there's like so many times, like, you know, like the old school, like freeway shit. Someone cuts you off, you drive up, fuck you, you throw pennies, whatever you have in your car, oh shit, you throw it, pull over. Like, I engage in all that shit all the time in my 20s.
Yeah.
Now people cut me off or whatever, I'm like, oh, they probably got diarrhea, or that lady needs to like deliver a baby. So you're just like, you're just
backstory.
You know, you're just like, oh, okay, like I have, my goal is just to get to this place safe.
Yeah.
What chilled you out like this?
Maybe a lot of trouble.
Okay.
Like I actually get into a lot of trouble, and then I think, like going, oh shit, if I keep following my feelings, it gets into crazier and crazier shit. So I'll try not to follow my feelings and kind of just go based off like, how do I want to end my day? Like, do I want to end my day like this, or end my day like this?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the sleep at night thing.
That's how I should, okay, and how do I end my day?
Yeah, I also, what helps me when I get angry or like upset with something, I just remember how many things I had forgotten that I was mad at before. Because it always like fades away. Like road rage especially. You can't remember it once you're at your destination even sometimes. So it's like,
It all goes away.
Sometimes
for
it pisses you off the whole day though.
yeah.
Dude, me and Nikki, one time we're outside this place in downtown LA, like looking for a party somewhere, and we couldn't find it. It's like frustrating and shit. And there's just two drunk guys who are like yelling. And then, you know, I'm walking Nikki, and then I could tell she's like scared of them. So I was like, oh, well, I'll fix this. And I'm like, hey, shut the fuck up. And then immediately Nikki's like, what the fuck? And then these guys are like, yo, what the fuck? Don't get knocked out. Don't get knocked out. All that kind of shit. And I'm like, I thought, like, my immediate reaction was just like, oh, this will help. And
This will
you know
help.
what I mean? Like, oh, I'll just tell them to shut the fuck up because I could tell she's scared right now.
Yeah.
And then it just immediately, once we get into my car, she's just like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, why did you do that? And I was like, yeah, I didn't really think I was gonna. This'll fix it.
And you know what's worse? Like in my 20s, like let's say something happened where I felt like someone like stepped to me, and usually whatever force they come with, you gotta bring it back 2x, right?
Yeah.
If you don't, sometimes that feeling haunts me. I'm like, you were such a fucking little bitch, pussy ass bitch. That the next time that same thing happens, I 4x the motherfucker. So then it becomes because you felt so guilty and icky about how much of a bitch you were here. Then the next time some guy like spills popcorn on you, you fucking like staple him to the ground and beat the living shit out of him. And then you're like, and then your friend's like, what the fuck? That was just that. And then you don't know at the moment, but later on you're like, oh, it's because I took out what I think I should have done to that guy. And this guy.
It was vengeance for previous things. Yeah, that sucks.
Hey, I had that happen when I was sparring some dude at like a public boxing gym. Some bigger dude was like, go light. And then, I was like, I thought I was going light. But I don't know what his light was, but that shit was hurting me. So I was like, bro, I was just pissed off the whole time. So my second sparring partner came in and I just fucking went all the way. I was like, and he was just like, bro, you're supposed to go soft. And I was like, oh, it's a snap. I was like, oh, my bad, bro.
Hey, what's up, guys? Just in case you have seen some of these lovely pieces on some of our gentlemen here, these awesome jade pendants, or you may have seen the recent JK adventure where we went to Jade Jewelers. Just remember that the sale is on now. If you want to visit thejadejewelers.co, you can even find some of the stuff that our guys have had and way, way more. The selection is huge, so make sure to visit the Jade Jewelers and check out what they've got.
Check it out.
Let's go.
It happens a lot, right? With sparring people.
It just keeps getting built up because you're too nice.
And then that guy on his next thing, he's gonna go too hard, and it just like passes on.
Because like especially
Never any
jiu-jitsu,
cycle.
you get smashed for one round. Oh man, the second person you go with, I'm so sorry, but you have to unleash somewhere else. Right, Nick? You son of a bitch.
I don't do that, bro.
Yeah, he
I don't
does,
do
dude.
that.
You know what?
disciplined.
You know what keeps me more? You know, like that feeling you were talking about, where you're like, "Oh, you're stupid." The thing that like evolved over time with me is the thing that was scarier was I started considering the litigations. I was like, oh my god, like imagine I had to go to court and then I couldn't get a job.
That's what scares me.
I had on my permanent record and like, and it causes problems for my family. My credit score goes down. Like I started thinking of like real world like
How could actually
things
ruin your life?
over a guy I could have walked away from. That's the part that's like, holy shit, I'm gonna have a criminal record. Like that became more of a concern to me.
The thought of going to court for a fight or an altercation that I got into scares the shit out of me. I'm like, dude, I would never.
Is it because you have registered deadly weapons?
Not even that. Just going the process of like, I get a court date, then I have to like take time off, then I have to go to court, I have to get a lawyer, I have to figure out what my strategy is to defend myself. Like that whole process makes me want to go.
there, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to go to the courthouse. bro?
Also, how I knew something's wrong with me because like I'm more afraid of that than I am that this guy lost his life over. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, my potential to like have like sweet revenge is very high, but my fear of like being separated from the things I love is higher.
That's why having something greater than yourself is really important. Because I remember, like, I think one of the best goody two-shoe times I ever was when I signed up to join the Marine Corps. Because when I signed up, like from now until you ship to boot camp, I don't want to hear about any shenanigans. And a lot of the time, that's the most squared away. Like, people are like, well, smoke blunt? No blunts, no nothing, no fights, no whatever. No fights, no blunts. Because you have this, like...
You're so uncool, dude.
Because you have, like, this thing that you're like, is greater than myself.
Exactly,
I gotta stick to it. This is my only hope. And then I think, like, having something above you... I think maybe that's why with family it's easier. I'm like, oh, it's like my...
I should build family.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You should have kids.
Honestly, because then you start thinking, bigger than yourself and like, fuck, if I get locked up, my kid has no dad. Holy shit.
When people say live in the moment, I don't think they should tell people like me to live in the moment.
Like, live in the moment, Joe. Yeah, just pull the trigger whatever you want.
You should live a few moments ahead.
Notice, maybe I don't really think things through.
But Ryan, that's true though. The fact that like more you understand the law, that's what made me push back too. Like even if you're allowed to have CCW, even if a Duke breaks into your house,
Even self-defense is like questionable.
you cannot use it in California, especially in California. 'Cause if you read the fine print, If you read the fine print, it just says you need to be a bitch in every situation.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
You shoot the guy.
Yeah,
In
it's
California, you shoot the guy who's coming into your house, and he'll own your house.
yeah.
That's what's crazy about it.
Might as well get the paperwork ready at this front door.
Here's the deed.
But he's gonna break in and say, "Stay in your room. This room's mine," and then squatter. You can't get him out.
Oh yeah, damn. That's robs your house and squats. same day.
California law just says be a bitch. Cause think about it. It's just like you don't want to go through it. Just be a bitch.
In California, if someone robs your house, you just go like this. Get your paperwork ready and just go, here you go, sign it.
All because your lock wasn't strong enough. Yeah, it's also the feeling of like, do you really want to, like, let's say you're carrying, right? if you don't have a permit, then you're kind of asked out if you ever have to even take it out. Because
Yeah.
that's on the paper now. That like, oh, this guy who had an unregistered weapon,
But
even
I
though you
thought
saved your
about-
own life.
I thought about that too, but could it really have taken my life? And what is you know what I mean? Like it's either you die, or you spend time in jail, but you're still alive. It's gonna be one of those
Me
moments.
too. I'd rather have a big old asshole than to be dead.
But then you know the rule of like you don't take it out unless you're gonna use it.
Yeah. That's the number one thing we always tell you. Like you should never pull it out unless you're ready to
I
dump.
never pull it out.
Unless you're ready to dump the whole man.
No one even knows.
You gotta do a pros and cons list before.
It's the last option, yeah.
If you're not gonna dump the mag, don't even put that shit out.
Yep.
Yeah.
The whole point is to dump it.
Yep.
I wonder who you took your CCW class with. That's the instructor. Don't pull it out as you're down to dump 4 mags on him.
This fool carries 4 mags. He's doing quick reloads and shit.
He's flicking the cartridge out.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, if there's a 200-pound dude running towards you, bro, one shot's not gonna do shit.
Flying knee, bro. Flying knee.
And they're on meth.
4 mags.
Hell, yo, and they're cracked out.
Yeah, forget it.
200-pound cracked out PCP motherfucker running
They're
towards
not gonna
you.
feel it.
But then like
4 mags, 2 guns.
Calf kick.
let's say somebody's running at you and you're armed,
Yeah.
and you know in your like logical brain that you can get away if you just run like a bitch.
Oh, I'm running.
Running, always
Yeah,
run.
yeah, always run, bro. Well, that's the one thing, right? They'll teach you not to even be in the situations
not be in the
and
situation.
avoid it at all.
Whatever is gonna get you to massage envy the next day.
For real. That's
Massage envy?
I gotta go to Trader Joe's tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's a great way of looking at it. Yeah.
There's no massage, no more. You can't get knots out if you're in jail, dude.
Bart, you about to run away, you turn around, it's a wall. Boom. Then what?
Why am I? What the fuck? What kind of place is
Then
this?
what now?
You're like, I kind of fucked up.
It's just like I'm in a fucking. What am I playing? Wolfenstein?
It's one of these walls. Yeah. What do you do? What do you do?
Yeah, that's true.
You miscalculated where you were. Yeah. Do you just? What do you do at that moment?
Pull it out, empty the mag.
Empty the mag.
Empty the mag.
200-pound PCP meth crack out, dude.
He sounds like that.
4 mags, man.
4 mags.
No, not 4 mags. Jesus.
I try not to be in situations, and I think that's the biggest.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not like, for example, like if you're spending the same kind of time, like that senior citizens do, like if their clock is like you wake up at like 5 in the morning and you go to the park or whatever, you have very little chances of interacting with people that'll piss you off.
Yeah.
Like that's what I realized. I was like, we share the same world, right? But like 2 a.m. at a fucking popular like street where there's hella drunk ass kids,
Kicking it outside.
way different vibe,
Yeah.
you know, than
Yeah.
10 a.m. at the park. You're only gonna see children and homeless people.
Yeah. And Tai Chi, Chinese
Yeah.
people.
There's a homeless dude fucking playing with his belly button and talking to himself. There's kids at the playground, and there's like a Chinese grandma feeding pigeons or something.
Yeah.
Very different environments. Yeah.
That's the first thing you can do. Yeah.
It's just don't even be in a realm that can get you in danger.
Yeah, the prevention part of it.
Go to a movie theater.
You know how like with the Menendez like craze, people found so much, I guess, sympathy for them because of the abuse angle.
Yeah.
Well, they're like, I know what it feels like, so they should be able to be free because I wanted to kill my bears too.
That's what everyone's saying.
Did you ever have
That's how kids feel these days. They're
Did you ever
so
have
pissed
that?
at
I can empathize with that feeling.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't think it's fucking right, but
Yeah.
I remember thinking those things. So like I remember like, you know, people setting off bombs and shit, and I wanted to get the Jolly Rogers cookbook. Remember that one? It was called the
Are you talking
was
the Anarchist cookbook?
Yeah, it's like
Oh, yeah.
it was called like the Jolly Roger or some shit.
It's a bad book.
Yeah, and I heard about this in junior high, and I was like, that's fucking
It
sick.
teaches you how to make anything. It's
Yeah,
really
bombs,
bad,
all kinds of stuff.
yeah. Poisons.
Damn down.
That's not good.
Stuff that the body autopsies can't find how they died. Like really scary stuff. Yeah.
And I think like when you are a troubled teen you're less likely to have empathy. I feel like young boys are like they're just all psychopaths.
Default psychos, yeah.
Because they don't they think the world is a bunch of NPCs.
Yeah.
And then at least me and the way my friends operated, it's like you didn't really have that guilt of like things, you hurt somebody, you did something, you didn't really think about it. The way that you think about it as an adult, like I'd feel guilty if I broke into a home, stole things. As a kid, you kind of feel the thrill and then you justify it in a weird way, right? So I can kind of think of like, oh yeah, like that's payback because those parents were abusive and I have abusive parents and they should have died. And you think drastically, you think really extreme.
Yeah. I learned that pretty early on about like, cause one time my mom was yelling at me. I was like probably like 6 or 7, and she was shouting at me before church, and then she had to help me with like my belt or something. So she was like kneeling, like fixing my clothes, and then so she couldn't see me because her head's right here, and I started going, like just miming like if I could sock her in the head, and then
Is that coming from real feelings or just messing around?
I was just so mad, so I was just like miming like as if I could be like hitting her head, and then I didn't realize that the mirror's right there, and she's like looking right at it, and then she just looks up and goes,
What the hell?
and then she goes, "What you did is crazy." I was like, damn, sorry.
I've had moments like that where I fucking want to go to my dad. I'm like, I fucking hate you, dude. Or my mom, I want to fucking beat them all up. Yeah, I was psycho. Nothing, dude. They knew I was fucking retarded. They knew I was a stupid, like, angsty little boy, dude.
They know that like the likelihood of defeat is probably gonna come more from your sisters than you.
Yeah. I still always be like, oh, I want to fuck you guys up, but I just punch pillows instead. I can never pull the trigger.
A wolf raised by women.
That's kind of tight.
Not that tight, Subin.
That's a good movie.
I don't recommend it.